Maximilian, we have been discussing about the prospects of Rishi Sunak, and here we are witnessing it. It is Rishi Sunak. Britain has chosen an Indian origin person as its Prime Minister.
Yes, it's certainly a historic moment for the UK. He's also, of course, the first Prime Minister to represent a constituency in the Yorkshire region. So that will be a power shift here in the UK as well. He's also moved part of the Treasury there. But certainly on Diwali, on such a historic moment, I think it is something that the entire Asian community here in the UK will unite around. But of course, he has significant challenges facing him, as would any prime minister. But we congratulate him on his victory and look forward to him hopefully being able to address those challenges more competently than his predecessors have.
And what he is giving Britain this confidence that he can address those challenges, because, of course, he is a former chancellor who lost out the last time around. And this time, in just 45 days, it is the return of Rishi Sunak.
Well, I would say that there isn't necessarily that confidence yet. I think we already see the sign that the markets are breathing a sigh of relief, as they did beginning this morning after Boris Johnson dropped out when he failed to reach the threshold of required MPs, although he said he had enough, not anywhere near enough ever openly declared for him. But Sunak's role as Chancellor during the pandemic and his responses there do give some comfort. Of course, he has a career and a background as an investor as well and understands the language of markets, and that he certainly won't be going ahead with the kind of mistakes that Liz Truss made, which he said she would make during that leadership campaign. So I think that gives some confidence. But of course, there are critics, including myself, of some of his acts when he was chancellor and responsible for the Treasury here during the pandemic. So it will not be smooth sailing.
It will not be a smooth sailing. And given the nature of challenges, Sanjay Suri, let me bring you as well in this conversation. Rishi Sunak from day one was seen as a front runner. Last time around, he lost to Liz Truss, and the margin of defeat was also pretty vast. This time around, the markets are cheering in United Kingdom. There's a lot of faith that is being shown in his leadership. But immediate challenge, Sanjay, tomorrow when UK wakes up, what will it be looking like for him and the country?
Well, I don't think anybody is waiting till tomorrow morning. This excitement has spread all over. It has gripped the market. The market reaction has been positive, and the pound rose simply on the prospect of the likelihood of Rishi Sunak taking over as Prime Minister. The markets certainly have a lot of confidence in him, and the reverse was true. The inverse was true when we saw markets lose trust in Liz Truss's undeliverable promises. So this now gives people the confidence that there's a sort of steady hand at the till, that the one in charge knows what he is doing. No guarantee, of course, that the one in charge has a magic solution. Things are difficult. The course is going to be turbulent. But at least now there is a confidence that given the challenges, and there are many, the one to negotiate those challenges and to steer Britain through is someone that the markets trust and someone that the people of Britain trust.
And you made an interesting point there about a steady hand at the tiller. Because I'm looking at what he had said last time around, Sanjay and Maximilian, please come in as well, when he had pledged to do whatever it takes to help people through the pandemic in the spring of 2020. And he had then unveiled support worth 350 billion euros. His pounds, and his personal poll rating went through the roof. So certainly, as far as the market is concerned, they have given a huge thumbs up, Mr. Maximilian Hess. But the stormy economic weather that Britain is staring at.
Those actions came in an entirely different monetary framework. Interest rates around the world were still rooted at essentially zero or even negative. There was no sign of interest rate increases from the U.S. Federal Reserve or other major central banks on the horizon. And in fact, the pandemic made it quite clear that they wouldn't be increasing. Now we exist in a world in which there's significant economic volatility. There are trade wars going on between the United States and China still. And then, of course, Russia's own actions to destabilize the global economy by throwing oil and gas prices kind of haywire, although we're sort of seeing a potential come down from some of that in recent days. So Rishi Sunak won't be able to bring the same financial firepower to his response. Instead, his response will likely have to include further increases in taxes, potential decreases in defense spending. That here in the UK right now is the really controversial issue because the government had pledged to increase defense as a share of GDP to 3% with the current budgetary holes, which in part are Liz Truss's fault, but of course came in the environment of this changing monetary framework, may no longer be feasible, and those choices won't necessarily be popular. They will, however, keep the financial markets somewhat on side, but the pound going back to, above 130 in the foreseeable future is very unlikely, as are gilts coming down.
All right, we are slipping into a short break. In fact, Maximilian Hess and Sanjay, stay with us. This remains our top focus. Once upon a time, as Sanjay was saying, United Kingdom, then known as Great Britain, used to send viceroys to govern India. What a turn of history we are witnessing today, a momentous day for India and Indians in Britain in particular, when it is an Indian origin, Rishi Sunak, who will now be charge of United Kingdom. That and much more when I return. Stay with us.